From News 3 Now, this is breaking news.
And we begin tonight at 5 with a major update to a child homicide case in Madison.
A fifth person is charged in connection to a shooting that killed 15-year-old Kaisha Miller in October of 2023 at the Harmony Apartments in Madison. 22-year-old Don Goodwin is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and 3 counts of attempted first-degree intentional homicide. All of those are as party to a crime. In court today, he received a $1 million cash bond. Goodwin is the fifth person to be charged in relation to Kaisha Miller's killing.
It was 2024. 4 people were arrested in connection to her death. Javian White, Reginald Sexton, Wilson Clark, and Donovan Douglas are all charged with first-degree intentional homicide as party to a crime. Images from that night show a group of suspects and the car they used pulling up to the Harmony Apartments. Goodwin will be back in court later this month.
News 3 Now has been following this story for years. You can find all of our past coverage on channel3000.com and receive updates on this case directly to your phone with the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
Well, we turn now to your first one forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is tracking some snow yet tonight, Alex.
Sure am. We've got that snow already showing up on radar 3000, really centered over Iowa County right now. Arena along Highway 14. You take 23 south from Spring Green to Dodgeville. Some scattered snow showers building in. As you zoom on out a little bit, this is the leading edge of that snow shower activity. A little bit further to the north and west of Prairie du Chien, out towards Decorah. A little bit more consistent snow cover is moving in. Now let's put future track into motion here, showing that snow becoming more widespread as we head towards 7, 8 o'clock tonight. And then we're going to get a break. And in that break, we could be looking at some freezing drizzle overnight tonight. Let's time this out here. The snow potential through about 9 o'clock. Then from 9 p.m. all the way through 8 a.m. Friday morning, we could see some freezing drizzle mix in before some more snow develops as we go towards that Friday morning commute. So expect slick travel between the overnight period tonight going on into the morning commute as we move into Friday. And then all attention then is going to turn to Sunday night through Tuesday morning. Wind chills to minus 35 below. And that's in the forecast as we head into Monday morning and then into Tuesday morning. I'll show you when I come back in a little bit how cold those wind chills are going to be in your neighborhood.
All right, Alex, thank you. Well, the weather this winter has certainly been a roller coaster. We started this week in the 40s, and in a few days, we'll be back into the single digits.
That's right. Our Tanisha Shaw talked to local forecasters about the trends of this winter season and what makes this year unique.
The recent up and down temperatures here in Wisconsin is not really unique to the state. But what is different is what you don't see on the ground right now.
But there'll be very big changes from what we had in the early part of this month, no doubt about that.
If you're missing that typical winter weather, it's on the way early next week.
A rise to the mid-teens for high temperatures, so it's going to feel brutal. It'll be a little bit colder than normal, too, for those days.
This season, we've seen highs in the 50s and below zero temperatures. UW professor Jonathan Martin in the School of Atmospheric and Oceanic Sciences says that the roller coaster weather is not uncommon this time of the year.
If anyone's at home keeping records of temperatures, they'll be able to find plenty of Januaries where we've had the same kind of roller coasters.
But the lack of snow is something that meteorologists aren't used to seeing in mid-January.
Weird winter because of the lack of snow, but it's not really such a weird winter in terms of roller coasters and temperatures, at least in my 31 years living here.
The constant and dramatic weather changes makes it harder for Wisconsinites. It impacts travel, and it makes it harder for forecasters like Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington to track weather conditions.
That complex combination of the road temperatures just being just a little bit above freezing, and then you add the cars to the mix, adding that little bit of extra heat with the melting and then the icing. That can be very complex to forecast, especially when it's happening over very, very short periods of time.
If you're tired of the roller coaster temps and everything that comes with it, like black ice, snow squalls, travel delays, and everything in between, it's good to know that we're halfway through the meteorological winter.
Everybody keep their heads up. It's only a month to go. We'll still get ugly days in February and March, but they're like a visit from your in-laws. They're unpleasant, but they pass very quickly.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Like a visit
That's
from
great.
the in-laws. He knows how to say things. And you can track the forecast for yourself On the First Warn Weather app, hourly updates and radars. We will not be tracking the in-laws through our app.
We have some new information tonight about a deadly crash on Monday afternoon. The driver who hit a 77-year-old woman with his car is in jail. We also learned the name of the victim. The Dane County Medical Examiner identified her as Mary Givens of Madison. Givens died at the hospital from her injuries. Madison police say she was trying to cross Packers Avenue near Londonderry Drive when a car heading north hit her. The driver remained on the scene. He's now facing charges for operating after revocation, causing death, and failure to install an ignition interlock device.
One person seriously hurt after a crash in Monroe County this morning involving a horse-drawn buggy. A driver was headed west on Highway 33 near Opera Road when they hit the buggy as it turned into a driveway. The buggy's driver remains hospitalized. Now, this is about 20 miles south of Sparta. An early investigation suggests the car was trying to pass the buggy as it turned. The crash closed that road for about an hour.
Well, cities across our state are experiencing some issues due to the declining need for taxi cabs.
In Portage, as of the first of the year, substantial changes were made to that service, along with the city's new contracted provider, Go Right Way. Our Nash Dara joins us with the story. Nash?
Eric and Susan, smaller cities and towns across Wisconsin are facing challenges as a result of cuts made in the taxi cab industry. In Portage, hours have been changed, causing the services of its cab company to stop working at 10 p.m. And in towns where public transportation and minimal ride shares exist, it makes it much more difficult and dangerous for people to commute without reliable transportation. The city shared it paid $120,000 for 35,000 hours of taxi service in 2024. Their projection for 2026 is spending $113,000 for just 15,000 hours, showing how costly the service has become. A statement shared by the city mayor, Matt Feeney, said maintaining the taxi service is vital for the city of Portage. However, cost increases and declining ridership has made it impossible to continue this service with current hours. A driver for the company also voiced their concerns for who may be most affected by this change, including themselves, who have dealt with repercussions of the cuts while also navigating the new hours and allotted driving slots.
All right, Nash, thank you. People with children who are headed to a Wisconsin college this fall, listen up. As of today, the Money Smart Wisconsin Scholarship Contest is now open. The Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions is accepting essay submissions from graduating Wisconsin seniors through March 6th. All seniors graduating this spring who plan to attend a Wisconsin college or university in the fall are encouraged to participate. So the scholarship would come in the form of a $1,000 contribution to a new or existing EdVest 529 account. And you can find more information about the contest at debtsmarts.org.
Wisconsin's first member-owned nonprofit healthcare co-op is expanding. Group Health Cooperative of South Central Wisconsin announced today it's partnering with providers in Rock County, giving its more than 70,000 members access to treatment at clinics there. That includes the Beloit Health System, Edgerton Hospital, and Health Services, UW Health's Janesville Clinic, and Mercy Health.
Well, now to a recall alert. 11 people in Wisconsin are sick. 2 are in the hospital. This is due to a salmonella outbreak linked to this Super Greens supplement powder. The powder from the brand Live It Up might be contaminated with salmonella. At least 45 people in 21 states are sick. No one has died, but officials say anyone with this powder should throw it away or return it for a refund.
And in more health news, measles cases continue to climb across the country. The CDC released some new data showing the number of new cases so far this year.
And our Sarah Carlson joins us now with a look at those numbers and why Wisconsin here is particularly vulnerable. Sarah?
Hi, Eric and Susan. The CDC reports 171 new cases so far this year across 9 states. In South Carolina, measles is spreading rapidly, and health officials confirmed 124 new cases since last Friday, bringing the statewide total there to 434. This comes as vaccination rates against the measles has declined.
What people don't realize is that initial infection with measles may not be that severe, but it wipes out the kid's immune system, immune memory, and it can take a couple years to build back. Gotcha. So it leaves the infant or the child susceptible to infections like pneumonia, diarrheal illness, and so on. And that's actually half of the deaths related to measles.
Now, Wisconsin is particularly vulnerable to measles outbreaks. The Badger State has one of the lowest childhood measles vaccination rates in the country. The CDC recommends children receive the first dose of the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine between 12 and 15 months, and then they should get the second dose when they're between 4 and 6 years old. 2 doses provides 97% effectiveness against this highly infectious disease.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Meanwhile, 6 prominent medical associations will ask courts to reverse the CDC's decision to recommend fewer vaccines for children. The groups, which include the American Academy of Pediatrics, are also seeking to stop next month's meeting of the CDC's vaccine advisors. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. appointed all of them. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services did not change its stance, opting to stick with the vaccine schedule recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics.
Up next at 5, the Henry Vilas Zoo in Madison has a new resident that you can go visit.
We'll introduce you to Nora the polar bear and tell you where Madison Zoo stands when it comes to protecting this endangered species.
Plus, the winter weather is back in full swing. Alex returns with when you can expect alert day conditions this weekend in his first warn forecast.
And a look at Wall Street as we head to break. The Dow closing the day up 293 points. The Nasdaq gains 58. S&P 500 adds 18. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, Madison is welcoming a third polar bear to the Henry Vilas Zoo. This is Nora. She comes to us from the Portland, Oregon Zoo, and at 10 years old is in her prime to have cubs with the zoo's male polar bear, Ziku. The Henry Vilas Zoo is one of less than a dozen zoos that can breed polar bears in human care in the country. Right now, there are only 36 polar bears in U.S. zoos, and Dane County now has 12% of them.
It is dire, and we represent the ability for anybody in our community or anywhere that can walk through our gates to see a polar bear, and that is incredible.
And you can go and see Nora at the Henry Vilas Zoo. It's open daily from 9:30 to 5.
They are fun to watch, and they're among the few happy with this colder weather. Even colder weather on the way, and Alex joins us now with more details.
Colder weather and snow before that real cold stuff moves in. We've got snow here, the town of Vermont, Pine Bluff, just south of Highway 14, just south of Arena. A few snowflakes trying to make it to the ground. As we zoom on out here with Radar 3000, snow out to the west, La Crosse to Decorah to Prairie du Chien. That's going to be moving east as we head overnight tonight. Let's break this all down here for you. That light to moderate snow between now and about, let's say, 9, 10 o'clock. Then some patchy freezing drizzle will mix in with that snow overnight with another period of snow as we head towards that Monday morning commute, making for slick conditions in southern Wisconsin. Future Track shows it all here. There's that band of snow stretching across Madison to Juneau to Watertown down to Monroe right around 9 o'clock. But that break behind, and it's that break behind where we could be looking at the freezing drizzle. Freezing drizzle mixing in with a good chance of light snow around 6 o'clock Friday morning. And as we move further into the day, scattered snow showers throughout the day, adding a little bit more snow to the scene, and slick conditions certainly continuing. Overall amounts, perhaps 1, maybe 2 inches here over the course of the next 24 to 36 hours, with additional snow chances Saturday and Sunday. Light snow each day adding maybe another ½ inch to an inch. So not a big snow here, not a big snowstorm, but certainly winter-like and slick conditions. And then the real bitter cold stuff really fills in as we go into the weekend. Martin Luther King Day, the high temperature struggling to get above zero, only in the single digits above zero. And then we're going to struggle throughout much of next week to get out of that cold grip. And that cold grip will bring wind chills as cold as -35 in southern Wisconsin Sunday night, going on into Monday morning, going on into Tuesday morning. So let's track temperatures tonight here. They're going to be in the 20s, so that's going to feel almost temperate. Mild tonight with that light snow and that mix of freezing drizzle. Highs on Friday in the lower 30s. And enjoy those lower 30s, because then the real cold stuff is going to fill into southern Wisconsin with wind gusts again approaching 30 to 35 miles per hour as we go towards Monday morning. That's going to bring wind chills locally. I promise this, in your neighborhood between 30 to 35 below zero Monday morning. Fast forward to Tuesday morning, we've got upper 20s to minus low 30s on Tuesday morning. This is the bitter stuff. This is the dangerous stuff here on Monday going on into Tuesday, Martin Luther King Day. Again, if you have any activities outdoors, you're going to certainly want to limit those activities as much as possible. And it takes a while to build out of that deep cold. We'll have cold conditions lasting Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those temperatures, that's below normal for this time of year. And then we plunge a little bit again as we head into the following weekend. Those temperatures are also below zero. So enjoy Friday's 33 while it lasts, because that temperature is going to be the most mild, the warmest temperature that we're going to experience over the course of the next 10 days. Well, it just gave you a lot of information. Let's break it down for you over the next 10 days. Snow shower chances, 1 to maybe as much as 3 inches possible over the course of the next couple of days. So not a big snow, but just enough to cause slick conditions. The temperature trends, the cold builds in, that Arctic blast really peaks on Monday, Martin Luther King Day. And that's why we have alert day conditions in the forecast Sunday night, going into Monday night, going on into Tuesday. But how about something nice to round out this forecast here? This is showing another pretty sunset in Madison. Thanks, Sue, for sending us that photo. If you look just close enough in the upper right, there's the moon being caught in that photo. Scan that QR code that links you right up to our portal of weather photos that allows us to show the weather in southern Wisconsin. I think we're going to be seeing some photos that are going to showcase the snow and the bitter cold right around the corner. Susan, Eric.
All right, Alex, thank you. Now to continuing coverage. It has been more than a week since an ICE agent shot and killed a Minneapolis mother in her car.
And since then, we've seen days of intense protests, and today the president issued a new warning. CBS News' Lana Zach reports.
With confrontations between protesters and ICE agents in Minneapolis showing no signs of slowing down, President Trump is threatening to send in the military, posting on social media that he may invoke the Insurrection Act to stop what he claims are professional agitators and insurrectionists.
We see an act from 1807 that gives the president extraordinary power. Frankly, we don't have a lot of precedent to indicate that there are significant checks either from Congress or the judicial branch to second guess the president.
Trump's post comes one day after an ICE officer shot Julio Cesar Solaceles, a Venezuelan migrant, in the leg. According to DHS, the officer acted in self-defense following an attack by the man and 2 other people using a snow shovel and broom.
Our agent is beat up, he's bruised, he's injured, he's getting treatment, and we're thankful that he made it out alive.
There has been a nonstop parade of tributes here, but the situation is untenable. Governor Walz making a direct appeal to the president on X, writing, "Let's bring the temperature down." Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey urged residents to protest peacefully and said the presence of immigration officers, now around 3,000, is what's driving the turmoil.
And for anyone that is taking the bait tonight, stop. We cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says there are no plans to pull ICE out of the city. Lana Zach, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Well, the attorney for the family of Renee Good says they are pursuing their own investigation into her death, in part because they believe the federal government's investigation will be one-sided.
Still ahead tonight at 5, the president unveils his long-awaited plan to lower health care costs for Americans. How the administration says it plans to do that.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
In his health care proposal, the president is calling on Congress to approve of sending money directly to consumers, not insurers. Now, the plan offered few specifics, though, on how much money would go to consumers to shop for insurance or whether those dollars would be available to everyone who gets insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Now, despite the lack of details, the White House maintains the plan will be popular with Americans.
If this plan is put in place, every single American who has health care in the United States will see lower costs as a result.
Democrats have criticized some of the ideas outlined in the plan. Wisconsin Democratic U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin releasing a statement that says, in part, quote, President Trump's health care plan does nothing to address the skyrocketing premiums that hundreds of thousands of Wisconsinites are facing or the massive cut that he made to Medicaid.
26 people are charged in an alleged point-shaving scheme involving dozens of college basketball players. Prosecutors say players on more than 17 NCAA Division I men's basketball teams fixed and attempted to fix more than 29 games. Wisconsin dismissed incoming transfer Elijah Gray in October, saying at the time it was for events related to preceding his enrollment at UW-Madison. Well, he was named in the complaint today, but not indicted. The allegations cover a period between September of 2022 and February of last year.
Unemployment reached its lowest level in 2 years last week. The Labor Department reported an estimated 198,000 initial unemployment claims. That is the first time it's dipped below 200,000 in 2 years. Initial claims are widely considered a proxy for layoff activity. Continuing unemployment claims fell by 19,000 to about 1.9 million for the week ending January 3rd.
Well, for the first time since June of 2024, Spotify will raise the price of its services. Premium plans will go up from $12 a month to $13, and student subscriptions will go from $6 to $7. If you have the Spotify Duo or Family plan, you'll see a $2 increase. The price increases begin next month.
We'll be back. Final check of your first warn forecast after a short break. Millions of Americans who get migraines, it could trigger an attack. Tips to prevent one as we look ahead to below zero wind chills on Monday. Again, that story next hour.
Well, this Saturday you can watch the divisional round of the NFL playoffs right here on WISC TV. The Buffalo Bills will take on the Denver Broncos, and the winner heads to the AFC Championship game. The Broncos tied for the league's best record and won back-to-back games to close the regular season. The Bills have won 6 of 7. Kickoff is set for 3:30 Central Time in the Mile High City.
And the Bucs are in Texas tonight, taking on the San Antonio Spurs and their superstar Victor Wembanyama, who shaved his head today. I don't know if that was related to the Bucs game, but tune in to see what he looks like. He's going head-to-head with Giannis and the Bucs. Watch it for free over the air on our sister station, Television Wisconsin. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock.
It's going to be a cold night tonight.
Cold night tonight, getting even colder in our forecast. We're tracking snow too. That could bring some slick conditions to that evening, overnight, and morning commute tomorrow, as additional rounds of light snow are expected throughout the weekend, and then that bitter cold temperatures, they'll be here by the time we get to the end of the weekend. Join us tonight at 6 of the latest on Radar 3000 and how cold those wind chills will be on Monday morning.
Get ready for it.
Coming.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. And thanks for watching tonight at 5, everybody.
CBS Evening News is next. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6, and you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000.